Did you know that 71% of adults reported feeling somewhat negative toward their body, the way they look? And this number is even higher among teenage girls, who reported that 81% feel anxious, embarrassed, ashamed about the way they look, and that there is something wrong with their body. And when you think about those numbers, it is pretty insane. And if you think about the condition and how that can affect a person, the lack of confidence, the lack of self-respect, self-worth, self-esteem, the inhibition it creates, that need for validation, that need to seek for an external solution, that need to look different, to be different, to prove themselves, to never feel okay with the way they are. It can create a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of shame, a lot of fear, which inhibit all our decisions, all our actions, and the result we get, and the quality of life that we create. But it begs the question, where did this start? If it's so prevalent in our society, why is it so prevalent? Well, we just have to look at social media, advertising, movies, and all these kind of things that are projected onto the big screen or the little screen to all of us. And very fast you can see that there is a pattern of what beauty is, what being attractive is, what being hot and sexy is. But there is also a pattern of what is not being attractive, sexy, and hot, and all these things. So through this massive brainwashing that we have since we're born watching TV, all these things, and those advertisements, and the narrative that condition us to see, like, well, look at him. He is handsome. That's what a handsome person is. Fit, is tall, is like this, is like that. That's what a handsome person is, right? It's the model, it's the movie star, it's the celebrity, it's that type of shape. Same applies for women. So it creates those values, those standards, those rules, those beliefs. And then we compare. The mind obviously compares us versus them. And we feel like, wow, well, I'm nowhere near that standard. Meaning I'm, not attractive. I'm not beautiful enough. And we have this need, right, to feel important. And so when our ego starts to feel unattractive, unimportant, not special, we start to feel insecure. It starts to create and reinforce that belief, that self-image that we create, that maybe we're not pretty enough, we're not tall enough, we're not smart enough, we're too fat, too thin, too this, too that. And this, as a result, create that too much self-consciousness, where we become too self-conscious about the way we look, the way we act, the way we talk, the way we carry ourselves, what we wear, what we don't wear, the hair, the style, all these things, which affect us more than we know, and create this constant need to feel good, to reinforce this pattern. And it's very easy when you see our society, how many beauty clinics there is, and all the Botox and all the makeup and all the fashion trends and all the tricks and all the thousands of diets out there and all the massively wealthy and huge beauty industry. That's not only for women, but for all of us. It's very easy to see that this is very profitable, and we all become victims to this mass marketing out there that is selling you the next product, the next thing, the next solution, the next miracle, the next pill that is going to make you feel whole again, that's going to make you feel beautiful and good and young and fresh and attractive and give you the confidence that you crave. I'm making a little bit of sarcasm here, but it's ironic because none of this is actually ever talking about the real cause of those insecurities, of why we feel this way, of why so many people end up spending so much money, so much effort, so much anxiety and stress, and how much suffering it can create on a person, and vulnerabilities, and things that can really prevent people from living their best life, putting themselves out there. It's a big price to pay, isn't it? And it actually reminds me of this amazing book and story that I read in the book from this very famous doctor, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, who was a very, very famous plastic surgeon in the US. And I love his stories because he talks a lot about plastic surgery and personality and self-image, and how plastic surgery can completely transform our self-image, the way we look at ourselves, how we believe and how we feel ourselves. in a better way or in worse ways. And in one of the stories, in one of the many stories, he shared this classical example. He compares two women who come for a similar nose treatment, right? They wanted to change their nose in very similar ways, and he did the intervention with both of them. And this is what he reported. He says, with the first lady that he called Lady A, she completely transformed her whole personality after the surgery. The moment she woke up and after healing and seeing her nose and seeing a new face and a new expression, her whole confidence soared. She became more sociable, she'll be less afraid, less insecure, she became more feminine, she started wearing more things, going out, flirting, doing so many things that previously she was, feeling insecure about. So there was a massive shift by the surgery, like after the surgery, that created phenomenal effects in her life. So there was a shift in her self-image. But then Lady B, who had similar results, woke up, and after the healing process, the only thing she could see was the flaws and how she wasn't pretty enough. Even though there was nothing wrong with the face in the beginning to start with, she still had this distorted image of herself. And she still felt insecure, not pretty enough, and nothing changed in her self-image. If anything, it made her feel only more insecure. And then he asked that question, why is that? Why is it that on one person it changes everything, on the other person it changes nothing or it makes it worse? See, it's not about the plastic surgery itself. It's not about the Botox, it's not about the new haircut, it's not about none of that. It's about our own inner self-image. The first lady, Lady A, changed the way she saw herself. She changed that lens, that distortion that she had before about, oh, I'm not pretty, or my nose is like this or like that, and blah, blah, blah. She changed that story. The moment she woke up, she created a new story, a new belief, a new identity almost. And she started to relate herself in a completely different way. And that released all those inhibitions that were attached to the old self, to the old story, to the old belief, to the old emotions. And it changed everything for her. And I truly believe that if we were to really want to feel more confident, more empowered, have more self-esteem, to really allow ourselves to shine fully naturally with who we are, we need to first be able to accept who we are. And so if you have any form of level of body insecurity, about the way you are, the way you look, your voice, your anything, it's because you have a distorted belief in which you're not accepting yourself the way you are naturally, without all the makeup, without all the creams, without all the clothes, without all those things, but simply as you are naturally. I remember old friends of mine in the past, female friends who didn't want to go out if they didn't have any form of makeup on. Imagine how stressful this can be. This refusal to accept ourselves and be at peace, and the next level would be even in love with what we see in the mirror, with the way we look, with the way we feel. To stop identifying our self-worth with our body, but to truly simply reconnect to that sense of self-worth that is present and that is in all of us naturally. When we release all those inhibitions and all those beliefs that contract us into thinking that we are not good enough, or that we're not pretty enough, or that we are somehow faulty or different. Nothing will ever give us that wholeness, that beauty, that confidence outside of us if we don't change that inner lens. All the treatment and all of these things can help us change that inner lens, like Lady A. But changing those beliefs and our own self-image is the most important way and the only profound, true way to release those inhibitions, to feel empowered, to feel confident, to radiate who you really are as a person and be authentically yours in your own life. And I truly believe this is a true relief when one can reach this place or go into that process. And if you need to know a step-by-step process of how to break beliefs, how to identify them, I'm gonna link a video in the comment or somewhere on this video. There is a video where I go into every single step, how to break this belief. I'm gonna share another video of how I broke my own body insecurities, how I thought I was too tall and how it affected me, made me shy, and all those things. What I really want you to know is that you have to take a proper look in your own state of consciousness, in your own thoughts, in your own beliefs, in your own feeling of embarrassment and insecurities and timidity. Because that shows you that within yourself, you're not accepting who you really are, how you really look. And you're seeing something to the image of there's something wrong with you. And as long as those beliefs and emotions are there, you will continue to create those inhibitions and feelings and fears and worries in your life. So I hope this video is helpful and empowering to allow you to go in this step, to allow you to embrace yourself, to bring more self-love and more acceptance in your own life about your own body, and to celebrate your body as you are today, and to work from that place of acceptance into look even better, even younger, even greater. Because acceptance doesn't mean you are stuck where you are. Acceptance simply frees you from the old stories, from the old resistance, and enable you to go with love in a direction that you want. I will see you in my next video. Be well.